Is 429 horsepower enough to be on Supercar Throttle? I mean, it does have a sticker that's over $112,000 because we have over $22,000 of upgrades in this 2026 Mercedes-AMG GLE 53 that's in moonlight white over macchiato beige. I'm Anthony, and here at Supercar Throttle, we typically bring in nothing but the best performance variants. And today, this is going to be a little bit unique. The reason why we're bringing this vehicle to the channel is because they have now implemented a PHEV that gets over 500 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. Both of those numbers should be in this. But what we get is a 0 to 60 at 4.9 seconds. That's typical speeds for an everyday vehicle, not your full-blown AMG. That's why this is AMG Enhanced. What you're getting is full LED headlights and daytime runnings. It incorporates into the AMG grille with the vertical bars, enlarged 3-point badge. We got the AMG night package. That's why details in the lower is gloss black, but they don't do it for the top portion of the grille. 7.5 inches of clearance. It's an everyday drive. We got the AMG Airmatic ride control, as well as AMG Performance 4MATIC, which is your all-wheel drive configuration, which will send power where it's needed, so it keeps the car planted. Underneath the hood is AMG Enhanced, 3.0 liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged engine with a hybrid assist. And that has 413 pound-feet of torque with the AMG Speed Shift TCT 9-speed automatic transmission, and it achieves 18 mpgs for the city, 23 mpgs for the highway. This is a great vehicle, don't get me wrong. I actually really like the AMG GLE, because the styling to it, very dramatic, very sporty, and it's timeless. And we have the upgraded 22-inch AMG cross-spoke forged wheels in the matte black. But when I'm spending all of this dough, and I know BMW is going to be cheaper on an X5, don't get me wrong, you still have to pay for things like soft closed doors, but you got to do that here. But you're still getting a savings of anywhere of $5,000 to $10,000 because you're going to get more features implemented. Plus, it's faster. It's a detuned M engine. You're not getting a detuned, handcrafted bi-turbo V8. Instead, we're getting a new PHEV, which should have been what this is with performance. And if you go to Audi, you go into the SQ8, which is the more coupe style, or you could get the SQ7. Either of the two, it's the same engine. More or less a detuned Lamborghini Urus engine by 2. That gets 500 horsepower. And even going into Genesis, the G80, they now have a coupe or the traditional SUV. Both of them will have a twin turbo V6. When you go into the coupe, you can get the E-Performance, which is a 48-volt mild hybrid technology. Doesn't really change the ballgame much, but Mercedes isn't implementing things to make it go even faster. And I understand people might say, well, it's still a Mercedes. You want a luxurious drive, and that's what you're getting. Yes, but when I go AMG, I'm wanting a lower 0 to 60. I don't want it to not be able to compete with vehicles that's in its class. Towing up to 7,700 pounds, payload 1,663 pounds. That's the best in class there. So I applaud Mercedes for going that route. Standard LED tail lights. The lower gets the quad exhaust tips. AMG, they're blacked out. And you want to go into the Pinnacle trim because it gives you all the desirable features in the interior, which is also going to tick that MSRP up a little bit more so. Going into the coupe, it's about $2,000 more, and the lower or the back is going to be cut off. So you're going to be losing cargo space, also headroom for the second row occupants, which is it worth spending extra dough just for style elements? Because it's the same speed and the same engine option. Oh yeah, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Click the like button, leave comments. All this interaction helps with the algorithm, and check out what we do on the channel because we bring a lot of performance variants to this channel as well as Hawkeye Ride. Don't worry, that wasn't me. Somebody tried to hit the Infinity. He wasn't trying to come over. I wasn't doing anything to piss somebody off, trying to get in the lane. You can see the Infinity still in the passing lane. 429 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. Is it enough for daily use? Yes, by far. This is a fast vehicle. Even the Porsche Cayenne, you're going to be spending more dough. It's around $88,000 to $90,000, and it's going to be slower than this. You have to go into a Cayenne S, which is going to be about $106,000 to $110,000. At that point, I would say don't get the Porsche because it's slow. For Porsche specs, it should not be that slow. For AMG enhanced specs, it's pretty quick. I know 4.9 doesn't sound like it's groundbreaking, but in a day in and day out use, it is. When you start getting into the six-figure price though, it does entertain vehicles that are a little bit more quick. And that's the only thing that kind of becomes a big problem to me with this particular vehicle. Even though I really like it, BMW and Audi is going to be quicker. You're going to save more money. You don't have to tailor so many features either like you do here. But the Pro that you got going on here, you got good clearance, 7.5 inches. You have good towing capabilities, good payload. You have a lot of room in the cabin, plus a lot of cargo capacity. It's not over the top with tech. There's not glossy black everywhere, but you have to add things like this carbon fiber. And then they don't give you the carbon fiber that's going to cover this. You got to add things like this heated, cooled cup holders. I don't think I would add that personally, but that's actually part of the Pinnacle trim. So you're not really adding things that you want or dislike there. You're getting it in a package. So that's fine, but don't a la carte soft closed doors or power sunshades. The exhaust filter's in good. We're gonna just change the mode for a second before we do some performance. Sound deadening is great. Upgraded wheels, I don't feel hardly any imperfections in the road. The adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, steering assist, all that good stuff is actually the best here. We're gonna drop it into Sport Plus. And you see what I mean. It is quick. I just wish that they would have, instead of giving us a PHEV, up the power a little bit more here so we would get quicker 0 to 60s in top speeds. Because when you're putting it with vehicles in its same class, it actually almost gets outclassed, and then it pushes people to say, let me check out a 63. A 63 is a night and day difference of a vehicle. It's a lot more stiff suspension. It's literally, I hate to say it's very similar to BMW, but both of those become a lot more rigid and it's not as desirable for an everyday driving vehicle. Great cars, but they are a little bit more oriented for the track. I like how the exhaust just filters in. It stayed yellow, don't worry. There was no red there at all. It doesn't feel overly long either. So if you're considering this or the coupe, the only reason why you go this route is you just want that extra cargo capacity and headroom for the backseat occupants, because both of them are the same exact engine and the same performance. The styling obviously looks a little different on the exterior, but I would be fine either way. They're both aggressive vehicles, and when you put these against the competition, I think it looks a little bit more aggressive than the SQ8 or the SQ7. The SQ7 being a third row Audi, I feel like it's a lot more understated, and when you buy those, unfortunately, they depreciate a lot more so than the SQ8. The X5, I actually like that vehicle quite a bit, especially when you go into the M60i variant, because you're getting the detuned M engine, which is awesome. You get the same torque, 553 pound-feet, and the 0 to 60 on that is almost a second faster than this. And the same thing when you go to Audi. And that's really the complaint that comes into play here. Everything else is right on par where it needs to be. It feels sporty. The drive itself is sporty, but it's comfortable and composed. It's quiet. It literally ticks the box to everything I would want. Let's rock and roll. And now we're gonna check those brakes. Now I will say the brakes do not grab as good as some of the competition. I would like it to be a little bit more tight, because when I go into the 63, I think they really polish it off the way it should be, but the price also escalate quite a bit compared to this. It's hard not to like the drive to this though, because it is fun, the exhaust is intoxicating, and it's not a V8 engine. and even in comfort. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.